Hi, I'm Lisa Montague. I'm the CEO of Sanderson Design Group. I've been in the business since April 2019, so it's a bit more than 2.5 years now.
Why is British manufacturing so important right now?
I think the question is in two parts. British manufacturing has always been important, and then there's a right now effect going on as well. So particularly with Anstey, customers tell me that the reason that this is such an important facility and service for them is around the range of techniques that we have. So we've got more than 100 years of tradition in printing, but it's the range and the blend of whether it be the surface printing, even hand block, the gravure, the flexo, and also then digital. So it's that technique mix of being very traditional and also technological driven, which takes us into the future. Right now, there's something else going on that I'm talking about a lot in the business, and it's very important for our future planning. I think it's the conversion of 3 different things going on in the market. The first is that we've just come out of a pandemic, and people have been staring at the same walls for months on end, which is why, Harlequin brought back the kids' collection, Book of Little Treasures, just to put a smile on everybody's face. So people are redecorating, the housing market's booming, people are moving, and also the home has become such a mix of services to everybody. It's not necessarily only a retreat, it's also a workspace, and it's where we've spent all of our leisure time as well. That's one element. So they're calling it pent-up demand, is the buzzword everybody's using. How much there is, of course, we can't prove that. The second element really is that there's a design trend as well, much more towards more decorative style. Mm-hmm. So we've had 20, 30 years really of minimalism, of grey and beige, and that's all shifting. And we can see that 6 years ago now, since Alessandro Michele put Gucci on the runway and started to talk about maximalism, and we've all started dressing much more in colour and print. Even me, had a black and white wardrobe before. Could be something with me working here as well. But also it's coming through in all sorts of areas culturally. So we're seeing that as well now in decoration. That could stand us in great stead if that's the beginning now of a new design cycle. And the third thing is Brexit. Brexit has meant that there's a renewed interest in British manufacturing within Britain in making it home, but we're also attracting a lot of business from America, less so now from Europe in some areas, because people are concerned about the import-export and all the logistics nightmare that's been in the first few months of this year.
What is your favourite thing about Anstey Wallpaper Company?
I love Anstey Wallpaper Company, and coming around again today has just been a joy, to see the machines and the blend of techniques and the design element, everything. When we renamed the group last year in November, it was because design is at the heart of everything that we do, and I think that's so little recognised. People talk about brands and manufacturing, but everything starts with design, and if we didn't have that, nobody would want to print with us. So I think it's the way that we start with design. Everybody's so passionate about that and bringing through the final product. And to see hand-painted designs turning into wallpaper that can be for years on the walls of different homes or institutions, that's really making long-lasting beauty, I think, is in many ways the definition of sustainability.
What have you learned from the recent pandemic?
Well, I've learned so much. I think we all have. We've learned a lot about ourselves, about each other, about families and friends and the way different people respond in a crisis, and that's really interesting. So for me, in terms of business, I was fairly new to the business. We'd just hired a new leadership team, which was not actually a team. It was a group of very skilled people who hadn't had the chance to come together as a team, hadn't worked together before. I think the last one was Ben, who's our operations director, joined in January, and boom, March we go into pandemic. So the team bonded around crisis and change, which is quite interesting as a way for people to come together. In my job, I had to really shut down and make sure we controlled everything that we could to keep the business healthy. Mm-hmm. And so Michael, who had just joined as CFO, and myself, we literally just kept our hand on the purse strings and didn't let anybody sign anything off, not because we didn't trust them, but because it put them in a very exposed position if that went wrong, or the board had questions, or we're owned publicly. If the public investors have questions, then we have to justify everything. So we turned it into a little bit of a mal and pup store with our hands on the tiller, trying to make sure that we navigated the sort of stormy waters, to use a sailing analogy. At some point, though, as CEO, I had to go, okay, we're going to survive. Existential threat over, we've proven we can survive and the business will be healthy and secure. Now I need to look up and out. Otherwise, there's a point at which, if you ride a bicycle, a motorcycle, you drive a car, if you look at the hole in the road ahead of you, you can drive into it. And my job was to say, okay, we've steadied everything now. I need to look up and see where we're going, get back to strategy. Otherwise, it can be dangerous. So I think it's been really interesting. There's no business book that I've read that said how to run a business in a pandemic, but I think we should probably all get together and write one now.
What advice would you give to young women hoping to have a successful career in this industry?
I think myself, I've done a lot of work around championing women in business, especially when I was in Spain, where it was much more of a topic than it is actually in the Anglo-Saxon markets. Here, I think it's really it's a very generational question that will go away over time, because people are just more equal than they have been, and every generation that's improved. Here at Sanderson Design Group, across our businesses, we're very equal, and we don't have very much of a gender pay gap. We measure it, in fact, we have a very small one in favour of female. And I could be tipping the balance. So I'm very proud to say that we have a female CEO, a female chairman, we have a lot of senior women, and we have a really good balance across the board. Even if you look at the futures team and the way we develop people, it's really pretty even across gender, and I hope that we can widen out more and more equality across other aspects of individuality as well, where there's much more of a conversation to be had.
What do you like to do when you're not hard at work?
Oh, well, I don't have much leisure time, and I really enjoy working, so that's good, because we spend so much time doing it, and I think that's important as well. One lesson for everybody is make sure that you really like what you do, because we spend so much time doing it. But I do enjoy being by the water, which we have a place down by the beach, and we retreat as a family there. And literally, when I walk in, you feel all the pressure just melt away. There's something very tranquil about being by water, and my husband sails and my kids love it. And I met my husband on the water. We married on a boat.
Wow.
And so it made sense for us to spend a bit of time by the water. And it's fun, and it gives us space, and particularly this last 18 months of the pandemic, we've spent a lot of time there, homeschooling and working from home, as everybody has. I also like, I'm new to paddleboarding. I really enjoy that. Can't quite yet do the racing start, but in my own way, I'm getting better. I really enjoy yoga, and that's very good, to just balance the mind, especially, I used to use it a lot when I was in airports travelling and something would go wrong, and you just go into your own little quiet zone and keep calm and carry on. And I really enjoy horse riding as well. But two of my children are allergic to horses, so
Oh, no.
it makes it a bit awkward.